Hello there. Welcome to Just the Discs. We talk about Blu-rays here and 4Ks, and I've got a couple of those to talk about. I'm talking about some Kino releases. I think these are mostly July releases, but at least a few really exciting ones, and I'm going to start with one of those, which is the 4K UHD release of William Friedkin's film To Live and Die in L.A., a really great neo-noir thriller that he did in 1985. That stars William Peterson, Willem Dafoe, John Pankow, John Turturro, Dean Stockwell, Darlan Flugel, Steve James, Robert Downey Sr. It's quite the deep bench cast. This feels something along the lines of a Michael Mann film, which he hadn't done a ton of his style movies except for Thief, which I do think aligns with this movie certainly. But, something like Heat that he would do later. But this one is kind of about a Secret Service agent played by William Peterson, named Richard Chance. And he sort of becomes obsessed with bringing down this counterfeiter who killed his partner. And that's Willem Dafoe. And, it's just a really strong 80s cop-ish, noir-ish kind of movie, and uses great LA locations. It just really looks nice, and this is a brand new HDR Dolby Vision master from a 4K scan of the 35mm original camera negative, so it looks really wonderful. It was shot by Robbie Mueller, which I think is really neat because he, worked with Jim Jarmusch and I think Wim Wenders, and just a really solid DP, and he really does a nice job shooting LA and doing some stuff he's not necessarily known for doing. And I'm thinking specifically of the car chase in this movie, which is among the best car chases in cinema, really. I mean, Friedkin does a great job with French Connection and sets things up, and then this is sort of a follow-up to that, just a really incredible car chase. I think on the 10 freeway. I'm trying to remember which freeway. If you're from LA, it doesn't really matter what freeway if you're not, but I'm just from a point of view of like, where was that? But the back says William Peterson and Willem Dafoe face off in a deadly game of cat and mouse in this riveting action thriller directed by cinema legend William Friedkin, who of course did The French Connection, The Exorcist, The Sorcerer. Full of style and grit, this raw tale of corruption and revenge boasts one of the most harrowing car chases ever caught on film and shockingly explosive ending. Federal agent Richard Chance Peterson has a score to settle, and he's through playing by the rules. Whether that means blackmailing a beautiful parolee, disobeying direct orders, or hurtling the wrong way down a crowded freeway, he vows to take down a murderous counterfeiter by any means necessary. The ultimate 80s neo-noir. Of course, Manhunter. That's the Michael Mann film, ties directly to this because of William Peterson. That's another one that makes me think of this. And that's, I want to say, right around this time. I think that's 85 also. So some really cool stuff in terms of what William Peterson was doing at this time and what he was getting cast in. A really nice 4K, and of course this includes a Blu-ray as well, and we're getting the features. I think if you bought the Shout Factory special edition, I think you're getting basically everything. I'm pretty sure it's everything. So the 4K UHD only has the commentary. That's obviously for space purposes. They're going to just give you the commentary track, and that's an enjoyable commentary for Friedkin himself. Then we have Taking a Chance, interview with actor William Peterson, Renaissance Woman in LA, interview with actress Deborah Fewer, Doctor for a Day, interview with actor Dwyer Brown, So in Phase, Scoring To Live and Die in LA, interview with composers Wang Chung, Wrong Way, The Stunts of Live and Die in LA, interview with stunt coordinator Buddy Joe Hooker, famously worked with a lot of people, definitely Burt Reynolds, I recall, but really, really great stunt work on this. Just, outstanding stuff. Counterfeit World, The Making of To Live and Die in LA documentary, also included here. So that's wonderful. And then deleted scenes and alternate ending with introductions by Friedkin. So a really, really great release of To Live and Die in LA. I was very much looking forward to this one and very happy that it turned out to be just what I was hoping for. Like I said, looks great. One of the 80s classics that you need in your collection if you're a big neo-noir fan. So that's To Live and Die in L.A. Then we have 52 Pickup. This one starring Roy Scheider and Anne Margaret. This is a really great neo-noir as well. This one based on Elmore Leonard, and it's top-notch direction by legendary filmmaker John Frankenheimer. It evokes the chilling reminder that if you have a lot, you have a lot to lose. Life is good for Los Angeles entrepreneur Harry Mitchell. Great business, beautiful home, and gorgeous wife. Anne Margaret plays his wife in this. Just when Harry thinks he'll land a seat on the city council, his life suddenly spins out of control when a trio of pornographers led by the ruthless Alan Raimi, that's John Glover, in I think maybe one of his greatest performances as an incredibly scummy dude who's going after this businessman, shows up with a videotape of Harry in bed with his mistress, played by Kelly Preston, a very young Kelly Preston. And when Harry goes on the offensive and tries to pit the blackmailers against each other, tension mounts, as does the possibility of murder. Stack cast also features Vanity, Clarence Williams III, who's fantastic in this as well as one of the bad guys, and Doug McClure. This is just a really great neo-noir, and I think it's one of the better adaptations of Elmore Leonard in that these criminals are just really bad. They're incredibly bad guys. Like, I feel like they feel like what real criminals might feel like, and I always felt like Elmore Leonard was able to capture that, the world of real criminals and how they behaved, and just really dark stuff and really effective. And Scheider's very good, as is Anne Margaret. There's a great scene where he has to out himself for his mistress to try and undercut the blackmail, and it's a heavy drama scene, and it really, really plays well. It's an incredible, powerful, dramatic scene. Great ending, just really good stuff from Frankenheimer. This includes a filmmaker historian commentary from Steve Mitchell and Edwin Samuelson, and an isolated music track with composer Gary Chang as well. So that's also great. Another really great noir, not even neo, is coming from Kino here, is Force of Evil. This is Abraham Polanski's film from 1948. Gritty and quintessential film noir, drenched in greed, cynicism, and corruption of the soul, as embodied by John Garfield. The postman always rings twice. In one of his most memorable roles, Garfield is perfectly cast as Joe Morse, a lawyer whose connection to a ruthless racketeer has nearly destroyed his sense of morality. His participation in a rigged numbers racket could prove disastrous for his high-strung brother, played superbly by Thomas Gomez, who I agree with has this great speech he gives, and I think Scorsese even points it out. Like, there's an introduction by Scorsese on here about how we die every day. He's like a little bit here, like he's going through parts of his body as if to say, we don't die fully, we slowly die over time. And it's this incredibly poetic take I've always loved. Small-time bank stands to go broke by the rigged numbers payoff. Writer and director Abraham Polanski, in his masterful directorial debut, I totally forgot this is his debut, was later victimized by Hollywood blacklist, curtailing his career for decades until he directed Robert Redford's 1969 Tell Them Willie Boy Is Here, which also came out from Kino years ago. That's a great movie. Force of Evil also features a scorching supporting cast, which includes Beatrice Peterson, Paul Fix, Howland Chamberlain, and film noir queen Marie Windsor. This is a 2022 4K restoration by Paramount Pictures, UCLA, and Film and Television Archive, provided by Hobson Lucas Family Foundation. Includes an audio commentary by film historian Imogen Sarah Smith, who is one of the dynamite #1 best you can get to do a commentary on a noir film kind of gals, and I can't wait to hear her take on this. And then, of course, the aforementioned introduction by Scorsese, who loves this film and it definitely cites it as a big influence. So big plus for noir fans. Force of Evil getting a brand new release and a new 4K restoration. Wonderful. Just one or two more here. Number one with a bullet. This is a cop movie, a brand new HD master from a 2K scan of the 35mm interpositive, and this is Billy D. Williams and Robert Downey Jr. Robert Carradine as partners. Carradine's a little bit of an unorthodox dude, and they're going after a narcotics gent. Hazeltine's hot temper and Robert Carradine is Barzak, Hazeltine's hot-tempered and not-so-suave partner. Their humor hits as hard and fast as their fists, and they never miss in this lawless world of killer drugs. Then suddenly Hazeltine and Barzak are stopped cold when a key witness escapes. While in their custody, the partners are sentenced to the unthinkable, desk jobs. So Hazeltine and Barzak decide it's time to take the law into their own hands. The LA manhunt takes them from the dark alleys and seedy nightclubs to luxurious mansions filled with every imaginable pleasure. So this is a good LA cop movie, underseen, under-talked about, enjoyable, a little edgy in terms of the content, in terms of how Carradine's character plays, especially from the very first scene even. Directed by Jack Smite, he's okay. He's done some interesting films. I'm not a huge fan, but I think he's a passable, workable director. But this one, again, it includes Valerie Bertinelli as Carradine's ex-wife, Peter Graves, and Doris Roberts as well. So it's got a good supporting cast, and it's, a canon movie. So it goes really well with this group in terms of could play with To Live and Die in LA and kind of matches with 52 Pickup in terms of its edginess. But like I said, underseen, and includes an audio commentary by action film historians Mike Leader and Arnie Venema. Very cool stuff. And then lastly, we'll throw in Gloria. This is John Cassavetes' film with his wife, Jenna Rollins. Brilliant Jenna Rollins gives an Oscar-nominated performance as an ex-gun moll and showgirl suddenly forced to protect a 6-year-old in Gloria. Pioneering director and Rollins' partner, John Cassavetes, known for his unique approach to the filmmaking, creates a powerful, tension-filled story. An accountant, played by Buck Henry, is in possession of a ledger which could put a number of mob bosses behind bars for a long time. Before he is killed, however, he manages to entrust the ledger and his son to a neighbor, Gloria, for protection. Gloria reluctantly decides the kid takes the kid on the run while keeping the mob at bay, sometimes at the point of a gun. Finally tired of running, she decides to confront them head on. So a real tough gal kind of movie, and she is really great in this. It's been a long time since I've seen it, from 1980. And I know this had gotten a release from Twilight Time, which is now long out of print, so it's very nice to get this back in print. And it only includes 2 theatrical trailers, which is kind of a bummer. I would have loved to have had some kind of a commentary for this, but regardless, still just really excited to have this on Blu-ray again so folks can enjoy it and enjoy more John Cassavetes, which I always dig. So anyway, that will do it for this round of Kino Lorber cops and stuff kind of movies. I will be back soon with more Blu-ray talk, and I thank you for watching. I thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.